Mako about Bama Prestige, several assemble subscribe no share video am I. Adofo, Moka I say OKUDZETO ABLOKWA or co vetting on vetting we could share vetting committee no. Or can sim before AFENYO marking so. We video no. Ninti the AFENYO marking say we exposing no. Just watch the video.
By the way, I had my baptism and confirmation in this school. I became a full Catholic. I was coming from a Methodist home. My stepdad told me, now your life is in your hands. I spent my 18th birthday on the streets of Accra, and I had to survive in Accra. I got a job as a postboy at Ghana Post, assistant postal officer. And after 3 years, when my colleagues were already at the university, I could save for university education. By the grace of God, Ghana Post granted me scholarship and leave with pay. And whilst at UCC, President Kufuor introduced this entrepreneurship program where mentors were going around the universities to inculcate in us that private sector dream. So I abandoned school and I registered my first business and I started running Excel Courier. And friends were wondering, why would you leave school and be doing business? I had my own plans in mind. Eventually, I found myself at Buckingham University. But I didn't go to Buckingham by accident. One morning, when I had bought my first Mercedes, I was driving on the La Palm Road. A woman crossed me. And when she got off the car, she was pleading. She had two daughters. I believe one at the time was 8, the other was 10. The senior girl got out of the car and said, our uncle is a judge. If you argue with our mother and it goes to court, you lose. The little one said, our grandmother, our grandmother is a judge. And then the junior one said, our uncle is a lawyer. So if it goes to court, you lose. These little ones. So I go home. I said, money, stay somewhere. I processed my application. I said, I'll go back to school and do law. If it's the law they use to intimidate, I'll also be a lawyer. So, Mr. President, that is how I made it. On the street, you have to survive. Once Mr. President met my wife and said, your husband is a hard-working but controversial. Mr. President, I have to be controversial. Survival on the street. If you do small, jolly, you will be defeated. So you have to be controversial sometimes to survive. So it's not my fault, but I'm learning to change.
I am a well-established person. All these properties...
Are you able to respond to people who have also started questioning that, at least by the calculations they are making, you must have been 21 before acquiring that particular property. What were you doing amongst others?
Don't worry. Let's get there.
Maybe briefly on that.
No, not briefly. It's an important thing. Don't say briefly. When we finished school, 1997, we had to stay home for 2 years. So I came to hustle in Accra. Through the hustling and schooling, I found my way at Ghana Post. So I was working as a post boy. Rose through the ranks to principal post officer. I was given a scholarship to go and study at Kivas. When I went to Kivas, 99, got in 2001, before I'd come into office. In July, when we vacated, I didn't go back to school because there was a career counseling and they introduced us into entrepreneurship. Okay. So I abandoned school. My colleagues know. I left Kivas at level 300. Okay? I didn't go back to school. I abandoned school to come and chase money. I bought my first Mercedes, my BMW. I still have those old cars packed.
Okay.
No, MFA, you must hear this. You brought it. Even if it is the last minute. No, you are not done.
But we've heard you.
No, you want to know. Please get the facts. And I started running my business. I married, I had my wedding at age 23. My wife was 22. Is that okay? I started running Excel Courier, a multi-million-dollar investment. Stanchart gave me $5 million facility Barclays Bank gave me $10 million facility.
Now you're sounding like you may be bragging.
I'm not, because you need to know the fact.
I need to know. I've heard you. But how do you respond to criticism?
Do you want us to have a conversation?
At least I don't want to go through.
You said that some people said, how did I acquire? I wasn't in public service. Wait, you said some people are saying I was too young.
Of course, they've
and I'm saying that,
questions.
Sure, I will answer.
But you've answered.
Though I was not in public service, I started business early. I've worked for Guinness. My trucks were doing work for Diamond Cement from Tablibo to Togo to Aflawo to Bupe. My tankers haul from Ivory Coast all the way to Jos Plateau.
We can't go through all the things
my business in Awaso
How do you then
quite a number of people.
At least, let's go back to the
I am not one of those people who would come in and I'm not a tenant. I am a landlord. I'm not somebody who will buy property and put it in somebody's name. I won't do it.
Okay.
I will never do it. It is my bona fide.
Yes.
And I am proud of my work as a businessman. It's the reason why I didn't go into government. The reason why I told my regional minister when we won power in 2017 that said, because of my business, I won't go. It's the reason why even in 2021, Kennedy Japan fought me that we are saying interior minister, I will say won't pay. We are saying health minister, I will say won't pay. Me say, because I'm running my private business.
Okay.
I want to run my business. I don't want to go into government. I would want to get into government when I'm in my late 50s or in my 60s. At that time,
and you're living that dream now. That's
I would have settled in.
Let's talk a bit more about.
I just need you to
Mr.
understand.
Minority Leader, I've heard you.
No, let me conclude.
Okay.
I would hear you. Let me conclude. The gentleman brought a search report and created the impression that my land in Winneba are state land. With the greatest respect,
we've checked on that.
You've checked, and what was your outcome?
What I'm saying, at least that land is not a state land, at least.